Well, what's up everybody? So in today's video, we're going to talk about resale value in your car. So if you are selling your car to a car dealership, how can you present your car to get the most amount of money for it when trading it in? Now, of course, there's a big debate on whether you should trade it in or private sell it. That's for a whole different video, but in today's video, it's all about trading your car in at a dealership. How are they going to value your car and how can you get the most money? And before we begin, we have new merchandise available. Check out the link in the description below. GTR designs, Audi R8 designs, Tacoma and 370Z designs. Check them out. So then to get started, there are things that help resale value, things that hurt resale value, and of course things that don't even matter on resale value. So starting with the things that don't matter, because obviously the things that help and hurt are kind of opposites of each other. Things that do not matter is your aftermarket performance parts. My GTR has a $6,000 exhaust system. I got a $1,000 tuner, $1,000 intercooler pipes, and $600 air intakes. That means nothing. The car dealership, they're gonna look at that and just not care at all. It's not gonna add any value. When I worked at the dealership, there would be so many times people would come in. Let's just use a Focus ST as an example. We sold a lot of those. Let's say they come in with an $800 exhaust, $1,000 coilovers, and $3,000 wheels. We can't buy that car assuming that there's any added value to those products. Now, the reason why a dealership isn't going to value that goes off the potential new customer and the banks. First of all, the banks, over 95% of people are going to finance a car, so the banks play a really, really large role in the value of a car. The bank looks at a car for its NADA value. All of our banks use NADA. If a car comes out to $20,000 retail value, that's how much the bank is going to value. They don't care it's got $6,000 worth of accessories. That just doesn't mean anything. Because if the bank makes a deal with that car and they have to repo it and then sell that car, they're going to sell it at auction and that's all they would ever get for it, so they just simply cannot value it anything more than that. Now on top of that, as the dealer, when you're selling a car, let's say you have two Focus STs. One has $5 grand worth of mods, one is bone stock. The next customer coming in not necessarily cares at all about modifications. They might be coming in because they want to buy a $20,000 Focus ST, just a nice basic fun to drive car. They're not going to spend $5,000 more than what they're already planning to spend just because this car has some modifications to it. Now at the same time, as a dealership, if we had those two cars, the ones with the mods we would put out for more money just for the heck of it, because why not try to make an extra couple $1,000s? But so many times, a customer would come in, we'd have the two cars, a stock one and a modded one. They'd buy the stock one just because they don't want to spend more money. And then the next customer comes in wanting a stock one, this one's $5 grand over book. They're not going to pay for it. So you negotiate the price down and you end up selling it at a normal stock car pricing. So it's really just playing it safe as the dealership. They got to buy a car as little as possible, as normal as stock as possible, just because at the end of the day, that's the value of the car. So with that said, aftermarket parts, if you're going to sell your car, trade it back into a dealership or something, part it out. Put your car back to the 100% stock form. This exhaust, I could sell it for $3,000 all day long to a GTR owner. There's a really large market of GTR owners looking for good used parts. Then there are people looking to buy a GTR, spend more money day one just because it has some parts on it. It just makes a lot more sense. So trading in your car, part it out, put it back to stock. These types of mods do not add any value. So now the things that help and hurt resale value, the two biggest thing that every dealership is going to look at, a lot of times we book out cars, we don't even need to look at the car. All we need is the VIN number and the mileage. That way we can pull up the Carfax report. What does the Carfax say? Is there an accident on it? Is there major damage on it? Is there a potential odometer rollback, a stolen vehicle report, anything like that? Does it have a clean Carfax? Because when you're selling a car, most buyers nowadays, it's all online. They see this car on the website. They research every single aspect about a car online before making a purchase. So whatever car you have, make sure it's good. Make sure the shop, if you do have someone else change your oil, make sure they're writing the correct mileage. If you bump into a pole at a parking lot, don't call your insurance and put that on your Carfax report, because that will come up as damage reported. If it's some minor damage like that, just get it fixed out of pocket. That is the better way. Because just to go on an example, if I backed into a pole and cracked my bumper, I could get it fixed at a body shop for maybe $500. If I reported that to my insurance, that's gonna go on as damage reported on this car. For this car, that's like $4,000 depreciation right there, just because of what kind of car it is, versus just spending $500 getting it fixed. So don't waste your time, reporting things to Carfax. If it's something little, you want to keep that thing as clean as possible. Now, if it's a really old car, like 300,000 mile, 15-year-old Sequoia or something like that, a little damage here and there, that's not going to affect it. But any kind of modern car, $20,000 to $50,000 range, and of course more expensive than that, of course, try to keep that as clean as possible, and just make sure when you are buying a car, it has a good, clean Carfax. So to move on to the last thing that affects resale value on your car, that's going to be your overall condition. If I bring this car into a dealer to trade it in for something and I have bald tires with cords showing, a big old dent in the side, and just chips all over the entire front end, that's going to hurt my resale value because the dealership knows they got to spend $1,500 on new tires. They're going to have to repaint a bumper and possibly do body work to any type of major damage like that. So if you're trading in a car with bald tires, don't assume you're going to get that spot on trade value for your car. Understand the dealership, if they're a reputable dealer, they're going to put money into your car to make sure it's perfect. So you want to make sure your car is in good shape. Like anything, if you're buying a used car, you want to make sure it's in good shape. If they're buying your used car, they want to make sure it's in good shape. Now at the same time, you don't need to go overboard with like a $300 detail. You don't really need to bring your car somewhere, have it completely detailed to show it off to the dealer to hope you're going to get the most value out of it. You can bring in a dirty car, they'll know what to look for. You know, I'd have people come in with a dirty car and they'd be a little upset thinking I was going to dock them money because it was dirty. I know what to look for. I can see if there's real chips or scratches in the paint. I can obviously tell if tires are good, interior is good. I know what can be cleaned in the detailing side at the dealership. So most likely the dealership is going to know exactly what needs to be fixed on the car, even if it's dirty or not. However, if you do bring a car in that is perfectly clean with tire shine on it, we've had cars that came in with tire shine and everything on it, and that really did help us want to buy the car. Let's say it was a really good deal, we'd want their car in our inventory because we wouldn't even have to detail it, which does save us time and money. Not to say we would give them more money for it, it would just help us want to do that deal a little bit better knowing that the car is probably taken really good care of, and that's something we'd want to add to inventory. So those are kind of the things that help and hurt and don't even affect resale value. The last thing you want to know is understand the value of your car. Let's go back to the Focus ST. The best way for you to value your own car, go on AutoTrader and Car Guru, search the same year, make, and mileage that your car is in the same trim level and see what they're listed for. If you have a car, you know, with 30,000 miles and every single one is around the $20,000 mark, don't expect the dealership to give you 20 grand for that car. It simply isn't going to happen. Expect 15 to 17. A normal, reasonable dealership is going to try to make maybe $3,000 to $5,000 on every car. Sometimes they might go into a car knowing they're only going to make a grand or two, but you need to understand the market of your own car. That way you can have a fair deal happen. When I was trading in my 370Z for the GTR, obviously I did this every single day. I knew the value of the car. The dealership hit me at $26,000 trade value. Immediately I knew that was never going to happen. So I sent them all of my back end stuff, all the research that I did on my own car, the values at auction, the values at the book values, and showed them that they're gonna sell my car for $33,900. I told them that that's probably what they're gonna list it for, and I told them you're gonna give me 30 grand for my car. That gives you 4 grand of wiggle room day one, you know, a little bit of negotiation, and you'll make this deal happen. And they came back with, okay, we'll do 30 grand for it. So for me, I knew exactly what I was doing. I knew what my car was worth. Of course, they were gonna try to hit me low. They were trying to make a $10,000 deal on my car. I wasn't gonna let that happen. So make sure you know the market of your car. And with that said, going back to condition, I knew my car was in fantastic shape. I sent them pictures of everything. My tires were good, no damage on it. It was in perfect condition. If I had bald tires on my car, I can expect them to probably offer me $1,000 less than that 30 grand because I know and they know that they would have to recondition the car, put new tires on it. So if you come in with a great condition car but bald tires and a cracked windshield, they're gonna have to pay for that to get it fixed so they can sell it on their lot. So while you have the research and the understanding of what your car is worth, anything that's reconditioning, that's gonna cost money for the dealer to do. And of course, they're gonna take that out of the pricing of your car. So that kind of sums up everything I needed to go over with resale value in your car. Bottom line is knowledge is power. The more you know about your car and the market of it, the better you're gonna do when trading your car for the next one. Understand the market of your car, see what they're selling for. Know that if that's what they're selling for, the dealership you're selling your car to, that's what they're gonna have to list your car for to make it competitive so they can make a sale. So take 3 to 4 grand off of that, and that's probably what you're gonna get on trade-in. And if it's a smart dealership, they would kind of do the same thing. So don't let them discourage you by just going off of book value. Really show them the market, and if there's other good, clean Carfax cars just like yours with good condition, those are the comps that you're gonna wanna show the dealership. I did have one guy that came in once showing me a salvage title Focus ST for like 12 grand, and he was asking why ours was $20,000, and he was trying to show those as competitors. You can't compare apples to oranges, they gotta be apples to apples. But know your car, know what it's worth. That is gonna be a really good way on how you're not gonna get screwed at a dealership and to where it'll be a pretty fair deal. And then back to the aftermarket stuff, part your car out, put it all back to stock, and you'll be able to maximize the amount of money you can get. But I think that's everything I need to talk about resale value on a car. If you have any questions or other things I didn't cover, let me know. But that wraps up today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Give it a huge thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. We'll see you guys next video.